something that's on the to-do list for this week. That keeps falling. It just needs welded. A weld. It needs, is it welded or is it needs a weld? It doesn't matter. That's got to get fixed. Now, travel with me. But first, we're gonna need some wrenches. One of them. And one of them. I don't know if this is the right way to go about this or not. So spoiler alert. Oh, great, a fluid. There's a fluid that has leaked. You see that? Great, a fluid. A fluid has leaked. We'll see what that one is when we get to it. Early indications say that it might be, it looks like brake fluid. Or no, I know what that is. That's transmission fluid. I think, in fact, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. That's, yeah, see it's blue. Can you tell it's blue? You can't tell anything because it's so, it's transmission fluid. Freshly rebuilt transmission pouring fluid. I also can't remember how bad that was before we went on the track, but it's definitely not getting any better. I don't know, I really don't know what to do about that. But I don't think it's gotten any worse. I think it's gotten, I don't think we hit it. I don't know, these indications here. It's hard to tell because I went through that mud pile. But there's like not, you would think there'd be something caked. I don't know. I know when I talked to the engine people on the phone, they were like, as long as it doesn't, you know, it should be fine the way that it is. Like, it can keep crushing here, but it should be fine. So, I don't know. But that does not, when you look at it from down here, you're just like, you know, not good. But here's that, too. Here's our steering shaft. And for those of you that don't know, that's not supposed to do that. That is supposed to go right here on this little rack. It's supposed to be a straight to there. And as you can see here, it's like an elephant's trunk. It's just kind of dangling into the wind. So we got to get this off so that I can proceed with parts to get this repaired and get us back, or well, hopefully racing this weekend. We're all clear. I've taken multiple looks at that oil pan now, and I do not think that we further damaged it. I think that's the damage that was already there. I don't see anything new on it. I mean, it's not pretty, but it's not worse than was. So there's that. There you go. That obviously goes to the steering wheel where I'm doing race car stuff. And then this breaks over probably like right before you get to, out of the cockpit. And then this goes down to the rack. And I don't think you can see it. Yeah, you can. Set screw, right? That, normally they have like a locking nut around them, I've seen. Mine didn't have that, so maybe that's part of the problem. Or maybe I don't know. Didn't work out, so it came off. So we gotta get one of these today. I'm gonna see if we can chop these fittings off and make those fittings work so that I do not have to purchase the fittings. I think the fittings are more expensive than anything. I think they're like 50 bucks a piece. Now the rod's not that bad, but these are no bueno. No bueno. So anyways, we'll see. But that's that. And as for the car itself, she is not coming out of there until it has steering abilities, because it's not very fun right now. Also, I've made the executive decision based on ease of access and how difficult next year is going to be. I'm going to buy one of those auto steers, or remote control steers, where you set it in the car and steer it as it goes up. And then I'm going to change out that winch that we have now for a winch that has a remote on it. And I'm going to take out 98% of our problems just by doing that. We were getting pretty good at loading and unloading, and then we just got out of practice, and then the other day we looked like a bunch of idiots around people who've never seen us unload and load. So we looked like Fast Farm. Not good. But also Macy's about to have the baby next year, and it's just gonna make life a lot easier getting to and from tracks if I can have 2 buttons, 2 controllers to load the race car with. It's gonna be a little bit of an investment, but I think it's gonna prolong the racing days, or add racing days that normally we wouldn't have had. You get it. All right, fast forward. It's nighttime. The point of today's video was not really even supposed to be about my car. I just want to show you what was going on with it, what was broke, what happened the other night, that kind of thing. I've tried to do this probably 20 times today. And every time I've done it, I have felt like maybe I'm saying, things that people don't want to hear. And maybe I'm overstepping my boundaries some or whatever. But I wanted to make this video because I think it's important. Obviously, based on the title of the video and the thumbnail, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the 602 class and whether, what's going to happen with it. What's the deal? I'll say straight up, just to start, it's ridiculous that we're even having this conversation because most of these tracks around that have just started to run the 602, they've just started to run the 602 class. This is the first year of it. The very first time ever that they've tried to run 602s. Up until this year, Clarksville was the only track that ran 602s. Other tracks ran a few events for 602s here and there, but for the most part, it was just Clarksville that ran 602s. This is the first year for the class. 1 year, 1 season. And some of those tracks run less than 15 races. Less than 15 races. And I'm gonna get demolished by mosquitoes out here. And there's a complaint about car counts. And I get it, car counts, money, all that stuff makes sense. But 1 year to build a class just seems so silly to me. And that's the first thing that I just really think that if you want to build a class, you have to give it more than 1 year, right? I saw a post earlier this year about how street stocks used to be a problem class, and now they're just thriving, and how great it is, and how wonderful, and that could be 602s as well. It's just not going to happen in a year, man. It's just not the same. It's not going to happen in a year. So by threatening the class, this is the part that's the craziest part to me. Either A, by spreading rumors that you're cutting the class, or by talking of cutting the class for next season, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because now, as a 602 late model driver, I'm not thinking this, but if I was thinking this, I know there's some guys that are thinking this. What the heck am I gonna do with my stuff? I guess I'm gonna have to sell my stuff. And then I know there's other people that were gonna build a car, and they were excited about running 602s, but now they're not. So you've stopped progress and you've killed what you already had. So it's insane to me. It's insane to me why you would threaten a class when the season's not even over yet. It's crazy. Here's the topic that may cross some people up, right? This one's not easy to talk about at all, but I think if you get upset by it, then maybe you're the problem, right? If it hurts your feelings, then maybe you're the one that needs to look into it. And there are some great track promoters in this area. There are people that work tirelessly to build their tracks and their classes and those kinds of things. But there's also some crappy ones. And they will get online and they'll be like, 602s, where you at? Where you been? Where you been? You better tell your friends. You better tell your friends to get down here. You better promote for us because we're not going to do it. You got to do it. It's your job. We don't promote our racetrack. You need to promote our racetrack. When it comes to promotions, and I checked this, because I wanted to be sure. A lot of these tracks around here, I went through just to see, like on big nights when there was a 602 race, or just throughout the season, like you just started this class, I would tell everybody about it. It wouldn't just be in my Facebook page. It wouldn't just be on my website. It would be everywhere. I would be on every group in Facebook promoting the fact that you run 602 late models, trying to get people from Alabama, trying to get people from East Tennessee or wherever, upper in Indiana, not Western Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky, all those guys to come over here and race. So I looked and like the main class that I've seen promoted this year from most places was street stock. I would say the very least promoted class was B-Mod. Those guys have a bone to pick for sure, because I do feel like they started out very similar to 602 crate late models, and then they put together a pretty decent class with pretty decent car counts. I was around for when B-Mod started, and I know what they were. And they're very similar to 602 crate late models, and now they have a decent car count just about everywhere they go. So those guys certainly could have something to say. Again, if that upsets you, look in the mirror, man. I don't feel like, for a new class in this area, I don't feel like 602s were ever really ever like promoted the same way as other classes. I never saw it. So in fact, I was at a track one night and some guys came and I was like, hey man, good to see y'all here. And they said, hell, we didn't even know they ran 602s here. You see the problem? You see the problem there? So I would say before you cut the class, give it at least 2 years. And then that second year, by God, don't leave nothing on the table. Promote it with everything you got. Hey, 602s are here. We are running for pretty decent money just about at all those tracks. And hey, look, you get this many cars, we'll pay you this much more. You get this many cars, we'll pay you this much more. Do that and see what you get. The other thing is what a lot of people are talking about, and that's putting 602s with 604s. In my mind, give 602s another chance by themselves. But if we're like past that and we're like, nope, we're not gonna do it, we can definitely get more cars if we put 604s with 602s. You better come up with a rules package. Don't make it a 604 late model class, because all your 602 guys will be gone. All right, make it competitive for both cars to do well. How you do that, I don't know. Whether it's a deal with shocks, a deal with weight. Certainly 300 pounds is not the answer, because I just think, I don't even know where I would hang 300 pounds. I don't have room for it. Tires, restrictor plates, I don't know what you got to do to make it work, but I'm not opposed to that with running 604s. I wish you could give 602s one more year, but if we got to run with 604s, that's fine. We'll probably just get a 604 and just make it easy. But neither here nor there, we'll do whatever we got to do. I'm actually already preparing for that by getting some parts in here that I know will be compatible. If you do restrictor plates, I will say you keep them at the track. I wouldn't let them take them with them. Keep them at the track. 604 shows up. Hey, you got to put the restrictor plate on. Boom. That's just the way that needs to go. If you let them take it home, it turns into a whole thing. Also, you're gonna have to have a tech guy that knows what he's doing, because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of the tech guys that we go to now, I'm not sure know the difference in an LM20 or a D55. I mean, I just don't think that they have any idea as to what a hard late model tire is, a soft late model tire, what a 604 looks like, and what a 602 looks like. Could be wrong, just don't think they do. So what about us? Like if they decide to run the class another year, we're in. We've got our car, we're good. If they decide to cut 602s from out the entire area, they don't even run them for special events, then we'll travel some. Until, I mean, we don't really know how it's going to go with the kid, but you know, we'll travel wherever we got to go to race the 602. It may be less shows, maybe less views, maybe less YouTube channel videos, but we'll travel around. And I want to travel around anyway. Look at that bug. Well, you can't see it. I killed him though. Would I change classes? Would I change classes? I don't think that that's something I'm interested in. I would do street stock just because, you know, they are promoted and they do get good card counts and they have those big street stock races. I enjoy those. So maybe I would do street stock, but I would probably look at maybe going to doing like limited late model on asphalt at Highland Rim or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what we would do if our class got cut, but hopefully it's a non-issue and hopefully we get to keep the class for one more year. That's it. That's my rant. That's my whole thing. I wish it would have been a better year for 602s at some of these tracks. Hopefully we get some good counts this weekend. We're either going to Clarksville Saturday or we're going to Windy Hollow Sunday. I don't know. I don't know yet. I have a very pregnant wife who has to work on Monday. So Windy may not work. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But other than that, we may be at Clarksville, or maybe we'll do both. Maybe we'll just get a wild hair and just be like, dude, let's do both of them. But who knows? I hope I didn't offend anybody. I just wish that the 602s would have been promoted a little bit more this year. Not only at the tracks themselves, but that Quicksilver series, I wish that would have been like, you know, a bigger thing for people. But I think the series was awesome. And we wish we could have run a lot more of those events. Just didn't work out for us because obviously we went over the wall and that kind of thing. And my work schedule is kind of heinous. But that's it. That's all I know. So what do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think the answer is for 602s? When you go to the track, here's a good question. When you go to the track, do you hope to see 602 crate late models there? You know, what's the lowest number of 602s that you could see that would be like, okay, good, that's a good amount, or, you know, I'm glad they came, or whatever. So what do you think of 602s? What do you think about the class? What changes would you make if we had to run with 604s? Any of that stuff down in the comments, let me know. I think that's it. I love each and every single one of you, but now I gotta go.